The atmosphere in Fairmont Crees has reached an unprecedented boiling point as the clandestine crusade against Hayley continues to gather a dangerous and seemingly unstoppable amount of momentum. At the absolute center of this escalating storm stands Naomi, a woman whose determination to expose what she firmly believes to be the deeply toxic and manipulative nature of Hayley as a wife has evolved into an all-consuming obsession. Naomi is no longer merely observing from the sidelines with quiet disapproval. She has transitioned into an active and highly aggressive investigator, meticulously gathering every conceivable shred of evidence that could potentially dismantle the carefully constructed facade that Hayley has presented to the world. This relentless pursuit of the truth, or at least Naomi's specific version of it, has transformed her into a formidable adversary, one who is willing to cross whatever boundaries necessary to ensure that the entire community finally sees the dark reality lurking beneath the surface of this highly contentious marriage. The strength of Naomi's anti-Hayley alliance experienced a massive and highly controversial surge recently, a development that has sent shockwaves through the interconnected families of the city. This surge in power was achieved when Naomi successfully managed to drag Jacob into her complex web of investigation and subterfuge. Jacob's inclusion in this alliance is not merely a tactical victory for Naomi. It represents a profound psychological blow to the existing family dynamics. By pulling Jacob into the fold, Naomi has effectively weaponized a crucial familial bond, transforming what was once a relatively isolated grievance into a full-blown family civil war. Jacob's decision to participate in this organized boycott and investigation against Hayley signifies a drastic shift in allegiances, indicating that Naomi's persuasive arguments regarding Hayley's alleged toxicity have begun to resonate with those who were previously considered neutral or even supportive of the marriage. While Naomi focuses on solidifying the core of her alliance and managing Jacob's newfound involvement, the other members of this shadow coalition are executing their own highly specialized missions across Port Charles. Kat, operating with a level of stealth and determination that borders on the professional, has taken on the crucial task of tracking Randy. The decision to place Randy under strict surveillance is a calculated maneuver, suggesting that the Alliance believes Randy holds vital puzzle pieces regarding Hayley's past indiscretions or current manipulations. Kat's relentless monitoring of Randy's every move adds a layer of intense espionage to the unfolding drama as she waits patiently in the shadows for that one crucial slip-up, that one secretive meeting or misplaced document that could provide the definitive proof Naomi so desperately craves. Simultaneously, Chelsea is employing a completely different, yet equally dangerous, set of tactics in her contribution to the cause. Rather than operating in the shadows like Kat, Chelsea is taking a direct interpersonal approach by actively approaching Caroline. Chelsea's mission is delicate and fraught with risk. She is attempting to systematically extract additional evidence and corroborating testimonies from Caroline, a maneuver that requires immense psychological finesse and manipulation. Chelsea understands that Caroline might be hesitant to speak out against Hayley, perhaps out of fear of retribution or a lingering sense of misplaced loyalty. Therefore, Chelsea is carefully navigating this relationship, applying just the right amount of pressure and offering the necessary reassurances to coax Caroline into flipping her allegiance and providing the damning evidence that could finally bring Hayley's reign of toxicity to a definitive end. Operating as the central intelligence hub for this increasingly complex operation is Danny, whose ability to gather, synthesize, and distribute sensitive information has proven to be absolutely invaluable to the Alliance. Danny has been working tirelessly behind the scenes, acting as a crucial conduit of information. Recently, she provided a comprehensive and highly damaging update to both Naomi and Chelsea, feeding them fresh intelligence regarding Hayley's latest movements and hidden agendas. This steady stream of verified information from Danny not only emboldens Naomi and Chelsea, but also allows them to continuously refine their strategies, ensuring that their coordinated attack against Hayley remains sharp, focused, and incredibly dangerous. Danny's role as the information broker highlights the sophisticated nature of this alliance. They are not merely acting on emotion, but rather on cold, hard data gathered through relentless perseverance. However, Danny is not content to merely operate from the shadows as a silent informant. She is also willing to engage in direct, confrontational psychological warfare. In a moment of chilling intensity that has undoubtedly altered the trajectory of this conflict, Danny sought out a direct confrontation with Hayley. Looking her adversary dead in the eye, Danny delivered a message that was as terrifying as it was resolute. After updating Naomi and Chelsea, Danny coldly affirmed to Hayley that her own children would be the ones standing there to deliver her ultimate punishment. This was not a simple threat. It was a prophetic declaration of familial vengeance. By invoking the children, Danny struck at the very core of Hayley's existence, promising a future where the people Hayley should hold most dear will become the instruments of her downfall and the ultimate judges of her toxic behavior. The intricate machinery of this alliance, however, hit a massive and explosive roadblock when the secrecy surrounding their operations was suddenly compromised. The catalyst for this impending disaster was Bill, who, in a twist of fate, accidentally uncovered the shocking truth about the depth of the conspiracy. The revelation that Jacob was not only aware of the situation, but was actively participating in the orchestrated boycott and investigation alongside Naomi struck Bill with the devastating force of a physical blow. For Bill, this was not just a matter of differing opinions. This was an unforgivable betrayal that threatened to tear the very fabric of their family apart. The knowledge that Naomi had deliberately crossed the line by dragging Jacob into her crusade ignited a profound and unquenchable fury deep within Bill's soul, transforming his previous unease into an absolute blinding rage. Bill's anger was born from a deep-seated belief in the sanctity of family unity and a desperate desire to protect the fragile relationships that bind them all together. To him, Naomi's actions were not a righteous quest for truth, but a reckless and destructive rampage that was leaving a trail of shattered trust in its wake. The realization that Jacob had been manipulated or persuaded to turn against Hayley under Naomi's guidance was the final straw. Bill could no longer stand by and watch as his family was systematically dismantled from the inside out by a coalition fueled by resentment and vengeance. Driven by this overwhelming sense of protective fury, Bill made the immediate decision to confront the architect of this chaos, setting the stage for a clash of epic proportions that would force everyone to choose a side. The confrontation between Bill and Naomi was nothing short of volcanic, a collision of two immovable forces with entirely different visions for the future of their family. Bill did not mince words. He aggressively questioned Naomi's motives, his voice trembling with a potent mixture of anger and desperate disbelief. He outright accused her of intentionally destroying the good, foundational relationships that had taken years to build, painting her not as a savior, exposing a toxic wife, but as a wrecker of homes and a manipulator of the innocent. Bill's interrogation was relentless, challenging the very morality of Naomi's crusade and demanding to know how she could justify weaponizing Jacob in her personal vendetta against Hayley. The air crackled with tension as Bill laid bare the emotional devastation that Naomi's actions were causing. Refusing to leave any room for negotiation or compromise, Bill issued a stern and uncompromising ultimatum to Naomi. He explicitly demanded that she immediately cease all of her investigative activities and completely disband her covert alliance. For Bill, there was no middle ground to be found. The only acceptable outcome was the total cessation of hostilities and a return to the status quo, regardless of Hayley's alleged toxicity. He ordered Naomi to stop the boycott, to release Jacob from his involvement, and to abandon her relentless pursuit of evidence. Bill's demands were delivered with the authoritative weight of a man who feels he is fighting for the very survival of his family's soul, making it abundantly clear that he would not tolerate any further insubordination or continuation of this destructive campaign. However, Bill's righteous fury was not entirely spent on Naomi. He recognized that the roots of this conspiracy ran deep and required multiple interventions. Consequently, Bill sought out Danny, determined to address her crucial role in the escalating conflict and to put an end to her inflammatory rhetoric. When Bill met with Danny, his demeanor shifted from the explosive anger he directed at Naomi to a cold, hard, and deeply intimidating resolve. He aggressively confronted her, delivering a severe warning that was designed to shake her to her core. Bill was acutely aware of the chilling threats Danny had made to Hayley regarding the children, and he was absolutely determined to neutralize her influence before it could cause any further irreparable damage to the family structure. In his intense face-off with Danny, Bill delivered a clear and unambiguous directive regarding her future conduct. He coldly stated that instead of fueling the fires of resentment and plotting punishments, Danny needed to start offering entirely different advice to her children. Bill demanded that Danny instruct her children to actively seek peace and reconciliation rather than participating in the ongoing cycle of vengeance and boycotts. This was not a polite request. It was a forceful mandate from a man who was desperately trying to wrest control of a rapidly deteriorating situation. By confronting Danny and demanding that she advocate for peace, Bill was attempting to cut off the alliance's emotional supply line, hoping that by neutralizing Danny's influence over the younger generation, he could starve the conspiracy of the vital energy it needed to survive and ultimately save his family from complete annihilation.